The Executive Director of the Norwegian Center for Global Analyses, Christian Nellemann, joins us now from Oslo. Mr. Nellemann, thank you so much indeed for your time. It is your organization, the Center for Global Analyses, that provides the United Nations with intelligence. And of course, we understand that the intelligence about this manhunt, which the Taliban is conducting door to door, is supposed to be private. It's now been seen by multiple media organizations around the world. So can you share more information with us about that particular aspect of the manhunt?
Well, thank you very much for having me here. Currently, the reports that we were receiving was that even within the early hours of entering Kabul, squads of Taliban fighters commenced a regular hunt for certain individuals associated with the security agencies of Taliban, the Afghan Special Forces, police, and others. They apparently had names, history, mobile phones, the apartments, houses where they were living. And they even issued a written orders for these individuals to turn themselves in, or otherwise they would arrest and punish the families.
Did anything change in terms of the statements that were then made subsequently by spokespeople for the Taliban, reassuring people of Afghanistan that there will be no revenge attacks?
Well, as we have already seen in the cities of Kunduz, Masal, Sharif, Kandahar, Jalalabad, other places, this is actually going on. And statements on amnesty and protection of women's rights and so on during a press conference is not the same as issuing a fatwa allowing amnesty to everyone. So while ordering and requesting people to stay at home, they're actually facilitating. And we know of multiple cases with individuals that are currently being hunted by the Taliban, and also families being targeted, as they have expressed in writing from the military commission of the new Afghan Emirate.
Yeah, I mean, Amnesty International is the organization that has said that in July, it was in Ghazni province in the southeast, that Taliban members had massacred and tortured members of the Hazara minority, the Hazara mainly being Shia Muslims. But it wouldn't be Amnesty's style, or indeed any human rights organization's style, to talk about the trust issue and the lack of trust that may exist between the Taliban and the Afghan population. Would your organization be able to make that sort of determination in its intelligence reports? In other words, would you trust the Taliban? I mean, your organization talk positively about the trust that the Taliban is building with its people, or would you be far more wary?
Oh, I would be extremely cautious. Even when it comes to such issues as protection of human rights and so on, as I stated during a press conference, we actually have to look at the actions of the Taliban in territories occupied by the Taliban until now. We have so far not seen this in practice. Now, the Taliban currently is a coalition with many Mujahideen groups and also other tribal, as you mentioned. However, we believe quite strongly that a number of individuals, quite high number, is being chased by the Taliban. We also have information that they are expanding their informer networks by addressing mosques, imams, hawala dealers, and others to gain information on collaborators. And these collaborators do not have Western passports. The Taliban are letting Western nationals with Western passports through the vehicle checkpoints, but very few Afghans, and especially those in hiding, dare approach these checkpoints.
Is the Center for Global Analyses future projection for Afghanistan a pessimistic one?
I would be very cautious in making any projections, but I think that what is very likely, what we've seen in history throughout times, is that very often infighting will begin in Afghanistan once occupying forces have left. I think we should also be very much aware that with the Taliban that we're currently seeing is better organized, far better run with their own intelligence service compared to the Taliban we knew 20 years ago. So I think that we can expect a step up in hunting for many of these collaborators, big and small. But also a lot of false information coming out on potential collaborators that ultimately then will be arrested, tortured, and potentially even executed.
Christian, really appreciate it. Very, very instructive to hear from you. Christian Nellemann, Executive Director of the Norwegian Center for Global Analyses. Take care.